Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We are outside the liquor store I bought 3 weeks ago, and we are going to start the interior remodel tomorrow. So we have lots of interesting ideas and a lot of things we want to do, a lot of changes we want to make. It's going to be a lot of work. Hopefully we can get a lot done. Now, I bought this without any sales information from the previous owners. We've gathered quite a bit of sales information in the last 3 weeks. It has not been very good. We'll show you that at the end. But with all the things we find and things we do, it gives me hope that we can turn this around and make it much, much, much better. Now, along with, look, someone's coming to the drive-thru. Along with remodeling, we're changing the name. That is coming soon. We're going to hopefully make this sign look prettier. And if you saw that, I had changed some of the letters on it. The letters they had on there, which is just like the phone number and said best service, best selection or something, had been on there so long, they were bleached onto the sign, or the sun had bleached the white around it so that you could permanently see their letters. So we definitely want to change those a lot sooner. And we're not going crazy making a ton of changes yet because we're trying to gather data and information. And it's a process to get things transferred and done. So we'll talk about that some too. Now, one thing I would love to do is not have this entrance be one way. You can see you can only get out, you can't go in. You have to go in from the back alley. So I talked to a guy I know who's an expert on that, and he's like, well, you probably can't fix it because that's a highway you're on, 8th Avenue in Greeley, is technically a highway. You have to talk to CDOT, Colorado Department of Transportation. There's no way they're going to expand that for you. It's too close to the corner. They're not going to do it. So we might be stuck with how it is, unless we buy the property to the south and somehow are able to combine the parking lots, but that's not a priority right now. So what we want to do inside is take out this whole counter. Just take it out. We want to move all the alcohol behind it. We want to open up this whole front section. And what we really would like to do is have all the shooters, pints, small size alcohol behind our one counter we'll show you here in a second. And we could have snacks, C-store stuff, convenience store stuff over here. We have so much room in here. It's crazy. So I think we want to open it up, make it way roomier, but we're going to have tons of space for product. I don't know if we want to add a bunch or just kind of keep it open. We'll see. So here's that counter where the drive-thru is, and we basically want to expand that to the right, almost either just before or to the other drive-thru. It has two drive-thrus. We just use one of them. So, there's their tobacco selection right now, and the C-store stuff can help with that as well. They buy it from a smoke shop now, and it's very expensive. There's their cigar selection down there. So like I said, there's so many things we can do to improve, but we want to move a lot of product behind the counter, under the counter, instead of just spaced all throughout the store in closets and furniture in different areas. So to do that, those coolers over there, we're going to have to move them somewhere if we need them. There's some, chilled, cooled shooters, drinks in there. There's this one right here, which has kind of the same thing. So we could put those towards the front as well. You don't really want shooters and small stuff in the front where people can steal it. But the cans of, Coke and drinks and things like that are fine. You've got this cooler here, which stores boxes and bags. It does not work, so we definitely don't need that one either. So the idea is to, and that's a freezer, which we could put somewhere as well. But we're going to take this shelf out completely, maybe move it to the front, or we'll tell you our plan for the back, and then have our counter run, like I said, just before the second drive-thru or just after it, because we don't need two drive-thrus. We only need one. So we might close that off or just leave it for the future. Who knows? Now, while we're doing all this, we're going to take out the floor. So when we move out the front counter, move all that away, we're going to start taking out the floor in sections and probably just leave concrete. And so we'll do the front first, see how that goes, then maybe move some shelves to the front while we do this middle section, then move shelves in the back while we do the back section. Hopefully we'll have just one open concrete floor building. Now we've got an ice machine back here. That can go to the front as well. We have those big windows there. There's windows everywhere too. And if you ever notice a liquor store setup, they rarely, if ever, have windows because sun is very bad for alcohol. It changes the color, it changes the taste, it can make it spoil. You don't want windows in a liquor store. Now, some of them have, advertisements on the outside, coverings, but the sun still shines right through that and still damages alcohol we showed before, bottles that were completely different colors that were the same thing. So we might keep this window, we're thinking, because this will be moved. We might have, some shelves along that back wall maybe, but we really don't want much of anything in the middle. And I know it's going to feel like a lot of wasted space, but if we have everything on the edges, we'll be able to have more product. The employees will have a clear line of sight for the whole store. It'll feel bigger, and it might be a really cool store. Maybe. Now, with those thoughts, we're going to cover up all of these windows. And by cover up, I mean putting either paneling, sheetrock, plywood, something that looks decent over the windows, putting shelves in front of them, painting everything. So we can move all of this product along the wall, have tons of space. Now in the middle, you might say, well, what are you going to do there? Like I said, be really cool to have it super open, but we can also put, stacks of beer cases, different things, promotional items, all kinds of stuff right in the middle too. In my other store in Pierce, we have lots of cases of beer just stuck in the middle of the store because there are quite a few people who like to buy beer at room temperature. They don't want it cold. I did not know that until I owned my other liquor store. So again, we've got this space right here. Not really sure what to do here because we're going to have a lot of space. So there's still some things to work out, but basically I just want to open it up, see how it looks, and go from there. Now, a lot of people have said, well, you need to split the building. You need to make it 2 businesses. You could do that, but it's such a pain. You have to have permits, engineers, building CO. You got to change how your liquor license is done. You got to add a bathroom, ADA. If you want a restaurant, kitchens, grease traps, it's not easy to do. So there's a lot of work there. We're not going to worry about that now. Now, this faux brick was probably put on here by one of the distributors to promote, Mardi Gras. Obviously, we're changing the name. And a lot of these brands are still good, but they're also, were really popular 20 years ago. So we want to completely take this off. There's just a weird kind of almost FRP, I forget what they call it, stuff behind there. So we'll kind of leave that for now. But I'd love to have, our beer organized by where it came from. Domestic, Mexican beer, craft beer, IPAs, and then have signs above them that tell you where stuff is. We also could organize all the liquor better too. All our vodka is kind of right here on this shelf towards the back. Vodka is actually the best selling liquor there is. You want to design your store kind of where the most popular items are, your best sellers are, and get people buying those or seeing those first. But then you also want people to walk around the store and browse and see different things. So there's all kinds of different theories and ideas on the best layout. Now, here are our sales, and they're not great. So it started out better than it has been lately, but we've had some issues. We started out with 3 employees, and 2 of them kind of worked together at nights, on the weekends, or by themselves during the week. We definitely did not make enough sales to have 2 people working at once, and so we're keeping it that way, seeing how things go. And one of them just no-showed, no-called one night. Just didn't show up. The next day, the other one called, but then said they were coming, didn't show up. So anyway, they both basically stopped working. And so we actually closed for a couple nights early. And then have had other people fill in who have no liquor store experience. But we're learning. And we have tons of interviews this week to hire new people. So we'll see how those go. It wasn't the end of the world that we closed because we're planning to completely rebrand. I don't know if our target audience is the same as we have now. Our sales have been so low that it's barely paying for people to work there. And then we don't have enough product as well. Because when you transfer liquor licenses in Colorado, there's a lot of stuff you've got to do. You're in limbo for a lot of the time. It's hard to get things done quickly and fast. And so some of our suppliers won't sell us liquor yet. That should change after today. So we haven't been able to get as much liquor as we want to sell either. Even though we have so much inventory, there's still stuff that people definitely buy more than others, and we're a little low on that stuff. So this week, we thought about closing down completely, but we have a drive-through, so maybe we'll keep open with the drive-through only while we do all this work on the inside, because we're also planning to paint, put up shelves. We'll be moving so much stuff around. The floor is going to make a huge mess. So there's a lot going on, and hopefully we can get it all done, because we do plan to change colors, make things more in tune with the local college, the University of Northern Colorado, which is navy blue and gold colors. And there's some outside stuff we want to do, but not a ton yet. We're trying to focus on the inside. So a lot is going on. We also are hoping some of our reps and distributors will help a little bit, but again, they can't really do much until we get to a certain point. And so we're in this weird limbo where we want to do a whole lot of work, but technically we can't get a whole lot of help from our distributors yet. And then we don't want to do too much work before, we have a pretty good idea that everything's going to work out okay, because there are no, guarantees that the liquor license will get transferred and everything will go smooth. It's a really good chance at this point now, but there's still no guarantees. So it's very tricky and a little bit risky doing too much stuff and going through this process. Now, we're still going to do some work, get some things done, because I think it'll be a huge improvement to the store. Worst case scenario, you could always, sell it to someone else again. Don't think we would ever have to do that. But, there's some ways to protect yourself. And hopefully, like I said, the things we're doing, the rebranding, more marketing, more advertising, once we're done with that, will improve sales and get us to a better point, because we really need to make like 3 to 4 times what we're making now to even think about breaking even. So there's a long way to go. But this store used to do awesome like 15 or 20 years ago and do way better than most liquor stores in the area, because it was branded towards the local college and businesses, and there's a lot of things I want to do on that side as well to improve it and make it better, just to attract people and even alumni. It doesn't have to be, college students, because most college students can't legally drink, so you don't want to target them. All right, so that's our update. We have a lot going on. We'll show you the progress. Hopefully it goes smooth, but you never know. And we'll have a lot of updates this week. All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon, and of course, love to hear what you think on all of this.